Hey everybody, it's the start of a new year, lots of things going on. In my last video I shared about your goals for this decade, talking about your personal life, your financial life, your career. In this video, let's talk about your vocal life. And as your voice and speech coach, I want to give you a little free gift in today's video. Becoming a more effective speaker, doing some simple exercises to make that happen. Well, let's get started. It's a new year and it's time to start growing as a speaker. In today's video, let's talk about 3 things you can do to become a better speaker. People come to me at different parts of their career and their life. Sometimes people are just starting off 20 years old. Sometimes they're at their job and they're 30 years old. Sometimes they're 40 years old and they're now at their management, or 50, they're the CEO. Any time in our lives is a great time to start speaking more effectively. And I've noticed this being a truism in all those different ages I've just talked about. Speaking in a way that conveys professionalism. And those 3 things are: 1 is speaking more slowly. 2, speaking more articulately. And 3, speaking without upspeak, or without a lot of unconscious fillers. First, speaking more slowly. So many people speak too quickly, as I am oftentimes doing, and to slow down makes such a different impact, not only on the way that you communicate, but the way you feel about yourself as you're communicating. It gets the point across. So what can you do? Well, you can watch many of my videos talking about slowing down, but take a piece of poetry that you like and read it out loud. Read it out slowly, really taking your time to speak slowly, breathing between phrases. And notice how that feels as you do that. Then, in terms of speaking more articulately, find a tongue twister. Maybe it's as simple as toy boat. And say that every day, many times on your drive to work in the morning. Speak out toy boat, toy boat, toy boat. And really overly articulate. See what that feels like. You're building muscles, you're building muscle memory, and you're building good habits. Finally, speaking without upspeak or many unconscious fillers. Well, what is upspeak again? You can look at my video on upspeak. But it's when we make statements into questions, so we end up in pitch at the end of a sentence. So if I'm telling you we end up in pitch at the end of a sentence, that's my sentence. But if I were to say we end up in pitch at the end of a sentence, suddenly it becomes a question. It takes away my power. Many of us have a tendency to do this, and it takes away from the authority with which you're speaking. So, why don't you try this? Find an article online in the newspaper or a magazine, and take one sentence and just read it out loud, ending down. Go on to the next sentence, ending down. And the third sentence, ending down. You can even physicalize it by using your hand. Speaking without a lot of unconscious fillers. What are those? Again, look at my video on that. But it's speaking without lots of ums, uhs, or likes, or you know. An example would be like, you know, just right there. I was able to incorporate all 3 before I even said anything. And more often you'll be saying them in the middle of sentences, in the middle of phrases, and you'll be repeating these things. So what can you do to fix that? Well, now I want you to combine all 3 of these things we've talked about and start to record yourself speaking extemporaneously. So, think about a project that you're working on or that you want to work on, or maybe a project at work or a conversation you want to have, and pull out your phone or your digital recorder and just speak. Maybe it's for a minute, maybe it's for 2 minutes. If you're very inspired, you could speak for a longer time. But the most important thing is that you at least speak for a minute. and try incorporating these aspects. And maybe it's just one thing at a time you want to incorporate, and that is speaking more slowly or perhaps more articulately, or even just one time without lots of ums, like, or going up at the end of a sentence. And then play it back. And finally, get somebody to help you out with this. Get a friend from work, one of your fellow students, one of your family members, and have a conversation with them. Tell them, let's record a conversation because I want to improve my speaking skills, the way that I sound, the way that I speak. So we'll practice for 2 to 5 minutes and have a conversation. And the nice thing is, if you speak for a little longer in this conversation, you might start to get on autopilot and start to do those things that we've been talking about. So it's a good chance to hear yourself in the difference between when you're being very focused on all those aspects and when you kind of forget about them. Play it back. Listen to yourself. If you find that you're having a very hard time, try it for 1 minute with them and see how well you can do on each of these aspects. People of all different ages, at all different positions in their business, come to me because they want to be better speakers. Just getting rid of those few things does just that. So take this gift I've given you today, work with it. You can look at my videos online that talk more in depth about each of these aspects. Start to practice them. Start to feel that, today is the start to a new year. I can start to incorporate these habits. And also remember, you can start to incorporate these habits whether it's January or December, the end of the year, or whether it's Sunday or at the end of the week, or whether you're Friday, wherever you are. Or you can start it at any time during the day and think, you know what, I'm going to speak a little more clearly today. And maybe tomorrow you end up mumbling or you end up speaking too quickly. Well, it's never too late to start again and think, I'm going to start this good practice of speaking clearly, slowly, and having good, strong speech. Try it. At any moment that you want to do this, you can make it happen. With that, all the possibilities that lie ahead for you because you speak well. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. It really is an honor to me to help you speak with more power, with more strength, and with more clarity. And so tell your friends about this channel and keep watching.